Greetings, fellow travelers. This is the Celtic Organopsid. I am doing a segment that I call My Portfolio, where I am going to show you things that are in my portfolio and that are also on my website. You can check it out at josephhatchesartarray.com. I'll put the link in the description. It's also a link in my on my primary channel. So you can go and check that out if you want to see more of my artwork. But basically what I'm going to be doing this episode is showing you some of my artwork and then describing it to you. So hope you guys enjoy, and let me actually pull those up so that way I can show you, we'll talk about the images while I'm looking at them. Okay, where do I start? There it is. So the first image on the screen is of a character that I drew for a friend. They had originally wanted to make a character that was had the soul of a phoenix but the body of a human, and was living in between the space of the realm of the living and realm of the dead, and his goal was pretty much to guide any lost souls that got lost in between and stuff like that. I don't know the whole story, but anyway, with that thought process, I drew this character. His name was Iro, I think, and that's basically all I knew. I just drew it, and I kept the picture because I liked it and it looked badass. The next thing you're gonna see is this weird alien-looking thing. I drew this for an art project at one point because we were drawing people, and I decided to draw an alien because I wanted to do something that was original, that was something that was fresh, that was something that was fun. So I decided to draw an alien and have a little bit of fun with that. The next thing you're going to see is this this wolf howling at a broken up moon behind it. I know it's not the most clear image in the world, but this is actually a very old drawing that I did. I did this back when I was a sophomore in high school. Yeah, sophomore, and I've kept it ever since because it's one of my best tribal works. So that's that. Next thing you're going to see is this monstrous creature that looks like something that Cthulhu crapped out. I drew this for the same friend that wanted Iro. He wanted like these big monsters that were in between that gap. So I decided to make this, and that's what this is for. And the next thing you're going to see is a velociraptor with a tiny antler on its head. I drew this as a Christmas card for my friends, and that's why this exists. And the next thing you're gonna see is a saber-toothed tiger skull with stars in the background and a feather tied to its fang. I drew this due to the fact that I just felt like it, really, and it just sort of happened this way. I originally started drawing the feather, and then I just went from there. Next thing you're going to see is a guy wearing a gas mask and a hoodie with antlers, and I drew this for a little promotional poster for a little play me and my friends were putting on called Wendigo. It was a post-apocalyptic horror, and the main villain was this Wendigo here. The next thing you're going to see is this bird with a ribbon in its mouth with the words Bluebird Foundation. This is actually a foundation that at one point I really wanted to get going, but I didn't have the money to, so I just, I keep this as a reminder of my dream that I will still try to push for. And the Bluebird Foundation was basically to help kids who have, been abused, essentially after they leave the state, stay on top of schooling, stay on top of stay on top of their therapy appointments, and if their therapy can't get to their therapy, that they could have their therapy come to them, and things like that. Next thing you're going to see is this split drawing I did. I wanted to show how similar a lion and a tiger were, so all I did was change some of the colors up for them, but show how similar in appearance they were, like structurally. The next thing you're going to see is this weird owl angel thing with a torch on its head. I don't really know how to describe it. I drew this once around this time, a few months back, out of the fact that I couldn't sleep, so I just drew it. The next thing you're going to see is this a bull skull behind in front of a dream catcher. I drew this for a friend. This friend actually wanted this for their grandmother, and I have this picture because, their grandmother ended up, they ended up buying their grandmother something, so they just said I could keep the drawing. This is something I drew. The next thing you're going to see is a crying horse with like a very disfigured, manged horse. I drew this essentially for the fact that I really loved the story of Black Beauty, but I never, this is an image I kind of wanted to see happen, because that was a book I really enjoyed and really hits kind of close to home at points for me. The next thing you're going to see is a avatar I drew once for myself. I was thinking of making it my profile picture at one point, but never actually got around to doing that, but this is what I drew. This is a candy skull. The next thing you're going to see is this candy skull I drew that was for a art project, and I decided, you know what, let's mix American Halloween with Cinco de Mayo. I mean, not Cinco de Mayo, the Day of the Dead. Sorry, Los de los Muertos. I really am bad with remembering holidays. But I decided to mix those holidays together in a way that, complemented both of them. And the next thing you're going to see is another thing I made for a art project, this outstretched hand with a hole just below the palm with all this Christianity symbols behind it. I did this for an art project. Originally it was supposed to be for an art project, but then I decided not to turn this in, and a friend wanted this whole thing, bits and pieces of it as a tattoo, so it ended up being used as that. The next thing you're going to see is one of the Revenant skulls. I don't remember exactly which Revenant skull this is. Hold on, let me check. I have it written here somewhere. This is... Nope, don't know. Sorry. Guess I'll look that up and let you guys know at some point later on. But, yeah. This is just a koi fish. The last thing you're going to see is this koi fish I drew with kind of feathery looking scales going down its back and a big old gem. I drew this mostly out of boredom, and I felt that